So welcome all of you for the class on economics. Today we are going to start with the second book, that is statistics. See, we are going to have the first chapter of today, that is Introduction to Economics and Statistics. Where the introduction to economics we have already been taken in microeconomics, and we are starting with what do you mean by the term economics, statistics, as well as various definition in plural as well as singular sense, and features, limitation and significance. So if we talk about the statistics, we need to define in two forms. One is plural sense, one is in singular sense. It means there are two modes of definition that have been provided to you in your book. So if we talk about the statistics, first of all we need to say what do you mean by the term figures, numbers. Numbers are basically in the quantitative form that are being available in every aspect of life, every sector of economy, and every stream of the profession. Let it be, it belongs to science, humanities or commerce. So if we talk about the statistics, it means we are talking about the numbers in aggregation. Numbers in aggregation means one single figure will not constitute stats, that we need to understand. If one figure cannot constitute a stat, why so? The reason is very simple, that we cannot compare, we cannot facilitate the basic comparison. If a student got 50 marks in a paper, in a subject out of 100, it means it will not constitute any stat because he will not be able to compare his marks with anyone. Since the marks of other students should also be provided. So, in plural sense, we can say statistics basically refers to aggregates of facts. It means, as I said, that no single number will constitute stats. Basically, statistics in plural sense refers to aggregates of facts and numbers, or we can say and figures. It means we can say this will be termed as quantitative data. So it means there is also one more type of data, that is qualitative data. Qualitative data is basically concerned with the qualities of a person. If we talk about the qualities such as tall, big, small, good, bad, intelligent, sincere, poor, we can just enable a person that he has some quality, but that quality too cannot be compared with other person's qualities since they are not expressed in numbers. So it is very certain that we must have figures, we must have the statistics or data in quantitative form. Now, if we talk about again statistics in plural sense, it is basically refers to aggregates of facts that is placed in relation to each other. Now, what do you mean by this place in relation to each other? In simple, it must be comparable, as I said. The comparison must be established between the two figures, and so we say the two figures must also be homogeneous. Why? Because they need to be fulfilled for predetermined purpose. It means whenever we collect the stats, whenever the facts and figures are to be taken, they must be taken for a particular purpose. I give you a very reasonable example that will relate to you. For example, in a school where the class 11 student who are studying, for example, the Cambridge school is a school where you are studying in class 11, and if we say that the student of say commerce and humanity both are having economics, say they are 100, so they are 40 for instance. Now, if they are having the marks in their respective subjects, if we are having a unit test that is going on in respect of economics and that is of 20 marks, so everyone is giving the unit test, and whatsoever marks every student is getting out of 20 will establish a comparison and will lead to the efficiency and inefficiency of the student, and this will make a good way of finding out who are the good students who are well versed with the economic concepts and who are the students who need to improvise their concepts and knowledge and skills in the field of economics. So I say, what was the basic objective or purpose for which the unit test was to be taken in order to determine the skills of the student, whether they are acquainted with the terms and conditions that have been told or taught them in the class or not. So again I say, the status is basically an aggregate of facts expressed in numbers or quantitative data that can be placed and that must be placed in relation to each other for a predetermined purpose. So this is the definition in plural sense. Now we come to the definition of singular sense. If we talk about the definition of singular sense, we just need to translate only 5 letters to get the definition. It means in singular sense, statistics is the process of C, O, P, A and R. 5 letters as I told you. C for, it means it is the process of collection of data. And we know, student, we can collect data from 2 sources that we are going to study very soon. One is primary, another is secondary. It means unless the data is collected, you are not going to go for further step that is concerned with the O, say organization of data. It means whatever the data has been collected, it is basically in very raw form. That must be synchronized or must be stipulated in a very smooth sequence form so that further actions can be performed. So we say the organization of data, we talk about the number of series to be followed where the data can be segregated or differentiated or can be put according to the number of qualities or number of designated traits that have been provided. So if we talk about the population survey that are being used to be conducted for every decade, so whosoever the person who is coming on behalf of the population survey, if they are asking for the number of persons in the house, they will segregate your house member in terms of child, in terms of mature or adult people, in terms of old age people. It means they will make 3 headings, and beside these 3 headings they are going to make how many are males, how many are females, how many are educated, how many are uneducated, how many have taken the education for over 10th, 12th and graduation level, how many have not taken the education, how many are serving, how many are not serving or unemployed. So basically these are the questions that can just separate the list and we can organize respectively. So if we come to the next stage, after organization of data, we just need to undergo for the second stage of statistics, that is presentation of data in the form of suitable tables as well as suitable diagrams. It means this chapter is again very relevant, very important, where you need to understand how to make constructive bar diagrams, histograms, or we can say pie diagrams, mosaic curves, frequency polygon, and so on. And then we will be coming for the analysis of data after the presentation has been done. The higher authorities or the senior level management used to undergo for such amount of data in order to facilitate a good amount of analysis. Analysis of data is being carried out by following certain statistical tools. By this statistical tool, we can frame a large number of data into small figures, in small percentage. For example, if we used to take the help of various tools as are provided in measures of central tendencies, that we can say as mean, median, mode, quartile divisions, quartiles, right? These are the basically statistical tools and mode by which we can use and facilitate the analysis. Whatever the data has been analyzed is going to be interpreted by the senior most authorities. And the last things we can say, the ultimate stage of the statistics will be ended by the interpretation of such amount of data that has been analyzed, presented and organized suitably. And they all are done for a predetermined purpose, right? It means whatever we just need to understand that whenever the statistics starts from the collection of data, the objective must be set well in advance. So again I say, in singular sense, statistics refers to the process of collection of data, organization of data, presentation of data, analysis and interpretation of data for a predetermined purpose, so that suitable conclusive evidences can be a draft for the benefit of the entire firm or organization or institution as a whole. Fine. So this is basically the definition of statistics. Now, we are coming to the features of the statistics. If we talk about the features, we just need to understand that statistics features. First of all, first feature will be, it must be aggregates of facts. As I told. First feature must be aggregate facts. It means no single data will constitute statistics. We have already discussed it. Second will be numerical expression. It means the data must be in the form of quantitative way. When there will be quantitative data, the data if it is in number, then we can say it will lead to much more better representation for the statistics than qualitative. We always take numbers for statistics because it is very easy to figure out in numbers than in traits, because traits are basically hiding the main reasons of the objective. Whatever we have accomplished, we just need to accomplish in numbers. Whenever any race happens, we always say he comes first, and who comes first is always rewarded.